Statistics reveal that domestic violence has been on the increase. And if we do not talk about it, if we do not provide solution to it, someday soon, this problem will blow up in our faces if we do not address them. Hello everyone, you're again welcome to Jaded Law channel. This is that law-based channel where your legal needs are met, where your issues are addressed, and where your questions, of course, are adequately answered. Again, I remain your host, Mrs. Omango Obe. Last week, I received a call from a very close friend, and she said to me, please, can you just take a break from the landlord and tenants law and deal just a bit on domestic violence? I have quite a number of friends who are going through so much stress, and I'd like them to listen so they can know where to get help and how to get help. And so I want to dedicate this week and a couple of weeks to this issue on domestic violence. What is domestic violence? Domestic violence, also known as domestic abuse or family violence, is that abuse or violence that takes place within a domestic setting. So in a home, for instance, between spouses or live-in lovers. I would also be discussing domestic violence in a broader perspective. And so we would also be looking at abuse by teachers on their students, abuse by parents on their children, abuse on wards against their helps and those living with them at home. Why is it necessary for us to address this issue at this time? Statistics reveal that domestic violence has been on the increase. And if we do not talk about it, if we do not provide solution to it, someday soon, this problem will blow up in our faces if we do not address them. It has actually been on the increase, and there is the need for us to talk about it and get people to find help where they should get help. Domestic violence takes different forms. It could be physical, it could be verbal, it could be emotional, it could even be economic or religious. In fact, it could even be for a simple reason as a woman not being able to have male children. As absurd as that sounds, I can actually tell you a story of a very close neighbor of mine some years back. She had 3 female children. And on this fateful day, she had been pregnant for a while, and of course it was time for her to give birth. She went to the hospital and she gave birth. The husband got to the hospital, and then as soon as he heard that she had given birth to the 4th girl child, he just walked out of the hospital, got back home as though it was prearranged, and he moved his belongings and his aged mother, who was living with them, out of the premises, told the landlord that he was no longer a tenant there and that the landlord could proceed to take possession. And of course, the woman ended up being ejected with her 3 girls, and the 4th, of course, being very little baby in her hands. It was such a traumatic experience, even for those of us who were only. In a home setting, for instance, it's usually in a circle. So it starts off like this. There is tension in the home, then there is the abuse, then there's reconciliation, and after that, tension again, abuse again, reconciliation again, and then the cycle actually continues. One of the reasons for this is that the abuser feels that it is normal for him to do so. And sometimes even the society gives credibility to men who abuse their wives, and they say it's cultural. A woman should be disciplined when she misbehaves. What happens when a man misbehaves? Are we saying that it's only women that misbehave? It would jolt you to know that even the penal code stipulates that it is not an offense for a husband to assault his wife, to flog her for the purpose of correcting her, just because she has done something wrong, and so long as the harm or injury that is caused is not grievous. So even in our laws, it is permitted for a man to beat his wife. Is this okay? Should we just sit back and fold our hands and say, oh, the man was drunk, oh, he was angry, oh, he doesn't have money, oh, somebody offended him, and so that's the reason why he had to do what he did? How long do we have to sit back and watch this happen? Are there options open to a wife who is constantly being abused? One abuse is even not nice, not to talk of series of abuses. Can she seek redress? And if yes, where? How? And this would be what I will be focusing on in the next episodes. And please, if you have anyone who has suffered an abuse, who is suffering an abuse, I would like you to recommend this channel to that person, so that the person can get the much needed help. Again, ignorance of the law is no excuse. Again, I would like you, if you have not already done so, to subscribe to this channel. Just get to YouTube, search, type Jaded Law, you would see our videos and you would see the icon, subscribe, and also get others to do the same thing. We have tons of good content for you, and help is coming to that person who is being in a very abusive relationship. I'll see you in the next episode. Thank you so much for listening, and do have a great week. Bye.